Welcome, everyone, to the Monarchy podcast. Today, we have an interesting podcast, the first one of the year, and I'm actually interviewing two of my youngest, not most, but the youngest adjusters and the ones that have been with us for less time, nevertheless, very good at what they do already, and with enough experience to properly represent a homeowner. And starting with the lady, we have Mrs. Sofia Ruozzi and Ivan Hidalgo. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Great to have you guys. So I just want to have a conversation with you guys. You know, nothing too crazy. I know Sophie's a little nervous. Ivan's used to this podcast life. But I just want to, I want the viewers to get an idea of what it is to become a public adjuster. And I want to start with how you guys got into this. And I'm going to give Sophie the floor first.
I had a friend who I was watching his Snapchat story, and he was like posting a video of his new office. So I messaged him and I was like, "Oh, hook me up with a job." I was kind of joking, but then he was like, "Okay, come in tomorrow at 9 for an interview." So I go to his dad's office. His dad is a public adjuster. And they didn't even interview me. They just had me sit down at a desk, and they're like, "Okay, here's 20 files. Call these insurance companies for a status update." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I didn't even know what a public adjuster was. I didn't have any knowledge, about insurance claims. That's how it all started. They didn't even interview me. They were just like, "Here you go."
How old were you?
I was 20. So yeah, 3 years ago.
Okay. Interesting. And how was that for somebody that has no knowledge of the business to just be thrown into it?
It took me a few months to even really understand what I was doing and what a public adjuster was, what the firm did.
Okay.
So yeah, it took me a while to catch on to it.
Do you think you would have preferred having, somebody at your side training you?
Absolutely.
Would you think you would have gotten it quicker?
Yeah, for sure. And, it also took some time for me to get out of my comfort zone and ask questions. But that's basically how I learned everything that I know today is just by experience, being thrown into the water like that.
Gotcha. And that's interesting because that's in a way are not so much for the admin section or for the, the in-house staff, but for the PAs, we don't just throw you in the water, but you are required to, shadow somebody. Like we were discussing this morning in the meeting, you have to tag along to inspections. You have to be present during negotiations, follow-ups. And that's how you learn here. There's we don't offer a course where it teaches you how to be a public adjuster. So I'm curious to I've never gotten this input, so this is good. Would you guys have preferred, I know you guys are a little more advanced already, not a little, a lot. Would you guys have preferred a course that teaches you how to be a PA, or do you think that the way that you were introduced to the business is a good way or a better way?
I think that a course could be helpful, but most of your experience is going to come from being hands-on. Every claim is different. So you working each individual claim, that's how you, I think, gain the best experience. So,
and what about you, Ivan? What do you think?
I didn't finish school for that reason. I don't learn. It's hard for me to learn sitting in front of a screen and just going over things. I like doing things. So the fact that I learned by shadowing Ricardo at the time, it was the only way to learn. So,
how did you get into this?
Well, I happen to be a CrossFit coach.
Can you show your muscles?
No muscles.
Just
right
flex
now.
real quick.
No, I happen to be a CrossFit coach, and I happen to be your CrossFit coach.
Oh, that's right.
And you had approached me. You were like, "Hey, look, I see something in you. If you want to come in and sit down with me and let's just talk, you gave me an insight about what you do. So you presented me with the opportunity to come in and, just kind of see what everybody does and see if I liked it. Yeah. And off the bat, I was like, oh, this is something I definitely want to to do for myself.
Are you sure it wasn't the Ferraris and the Lambos parked downstairs that attracted you? Or
I'm sure that that helped a little bit, but no, it was it was seeing how you guys worked and what you guys did for people that just kind of gave me a sense that that's something I want to pursue. As already I'm in the fitness side of helping people, so now I get to help people with their houses or their businesses and whatever else they do.
how has it been so far for you? Like, do you like it? Do you see yourself doing this for an extended period of time?
Yes. I mean, I've come to love it. At the beginning, it was a little different from something that I was used to, especially when you don't know what you're doing or what you're talking about. But as the time has gone by, like it's something that I truly enjoy, and I could definitely see myself doing this for until I could set myself up for retirement. I can't say that I want to work forever, so I'm not gonna say forever, but this is definitely an opportunity to help others and help myself, grow as an individual. You get to meet so many different people and you get to help, so it's a rewarding feeling.
Do you know when you want to retire?
There's an age that I would like to get to be able to retire. Between maybe 45 and 40s, just because like I want to enjoy life and be able to do so much. So that's a goal.
Well, and something that I want to encourage not only you guys but the viewers is to set a goal in numbers, not only in numbers and like dollars, but also in time. Even if it seems unrealistic, that way nothing's unrealistic. I mean, everything's achievable. It's just how it matters. Only thing that matters is how hard you work toward those goals, right? So, but I feel like sometimes we go about life and not really knowing what the end game is, right? So once you have that goal in time and in dollars, you know where it ends and what you're working towards. So when you get a moment, write that down on a piece of paper. Really, like it could be you're 23 now, you're 26, 27.
I know.
It could be as soon as 35 or 40, 45, whatever it is. Mine was 35. I'm 34 this year. I'm not going to make it, but I had to push it 5 more years, but I had it set. So, and I'm a lot closer than I think I would have been had I not set that goal. So hopefully by 40, that the time will come. Hopefully the financials come along with it. But my recommendation, again, to summarize, the little rant that I went on, is set the goals in time and in money. Assuming that the finance is something that's important to you, because it's not important to everybody. But I think it should be, because not so much what you can buy is important, but the freedom that you can get by being able to be comfortable with the money that you have. So, and I think that this is a great career choice for anybody that wants to do that, because it really, sky's the limit. There is no limit.
Yeah, there is no limit.
You put in 20 hours a day of work, for 1, 2, 3 years, and you're going to be banking and by the 3rd year. The same way, if you just, you're okay with whatever amount of money it's okay just to get you by, and you put, 7, 6, 4 hours a day of work, whatever it is, anything's possible in this industry. So I look forward to, just seeing you guys grow along. I feel like that was a really long, me just talking there. Anyway, so what are some of the major concerns that you guys have had, or what? Tell me about your toughest claim, Sophie.
I feel like a lot of PAs, they think that their biggest obstacle is negotiating with the insurance company. But to me, I feel like it's the client.
Okay. Why is that? Discussing with the client or getting them to sign? What exactly?
I don't want to say pleasing them, I don't know. I have this client,
Wait, the one that we talked about?
and when I signed her up, I knew that, she wasn't going to be the easiest person to please.
I knew that too.
Yeah.
When I extended it to you.
Yeah.
And Yuli.
But nonetheless, we signed her up. We reopened her claim because she had a supplemental claim. Later on, after, we had already created our estimate, submitted it to the carrier, we found out that the roof portion was denied, which was like her biggest concern. That's not something that she, I guess, was aware of. So
Yeah.
I had to be the one to break the news to her. And I never want to, upset a client or, have them be unhappy. But it's something that I had to do. I had to break the news to her because she wasn't aware of that. The insurance adjuster came back to us with an offer. I presented it to her, and it wasn't a number that she was happy with. I told her, we're going to try to negotiate to get more money, but even my best number still would not have made her happy.
Yeah. Yeah, because, and to give a little bit of background on this, the roof failed due to bad workmanship, not due to a storm. So not due to any covered loss. Bad workmanship is specifically excluded on homeowners policies. And she doesn't understand that. She has a difficult time understanding why her insurance doesn't cover that. So that's why you're having that issue. To go on. Sorry, I just wanted to give a little background there.
No, and, I wish there was something I could do to help her, really. But at the end of the day, that's not something that her insurance company is responsible to pay for.
Yeah. I think the fact and the way her policy is, the fact that they're extending a $8,500 offer is a big deal in a claim that should not have been covered at all.
Yeah.
But sometimes, clients don't see that. So I told you, once we're done here, we're going to call her together and we're going to make sure that she understands, what is at stake, and that this in a way is a good offer. Even though it's not what she wants, it's a good offer. And after that, Sophia, if she doesn't understand, we're just going to have to let her go.
Yeah.
Because it's at that point, it's beyond us. We've done everything that we could to help that client out. And that's okay. Sometimes, don't think it's time wasted. It was a difficult situation, but I guarantee you're going to learn something from it.
Yeah. That was definitely, experience for me. And, the insurance company was willing to work with me, but at the end of the day, it's the client that's, giving me the pushback.
Yeah. Yeah. She wants a lot more than what's being offered when there should not have been coverage for that claim in the first place. So the fact that we got an offer is a huge, huge win. So what about you? You have, oh yes.
No.
Don't mention any names. Don't mention any names.
No, actually, no, I'm going to say that the toughest claims were probably like the first couple claims that went straight to litigation for me. So it was like, I'm trying to learn one, and I'm trying to make a name for myself. And it was like, kind of like, off the bat, I have to tell clients like, hey, your claim's going to go to litigation. It's going to be a process.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, not frustrating, but like, it was kind of like, damn, they're probably like, is this guy good? Because most of them didn't even know what a public adjuster was.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out what a public adjuster is along the way. So it was a little like, mental, like it would play around. And then other than that,
wait, before you get away from that point, I think that fear was more a reflection on your fear of not having sufficient knowledge about the business, because the fact that a claim goes to litigation is not an indication, well, at least in our case.
Yeah, now that
in our case, because we're really good at what we do. In our case, the fact that a claim goes to litigation is not an indication of the work that we've done for that claim. So, I wish you would have told me that, because I would have brought you some ease. But no, it wasn't in a way a reflection of your work, but I understand why you felt that way.
Yeah. Now that, I'm in the game a little longer, I understand like, hey, like, it's just, sometimes it's out of our control, but we obviously try our best to avoid those situations. But yeah.
Exactly. No. And I think an informed client is a client, that knows what to expect. So we make it a point to have that conversation with the client beforehand, right? Like upon signing the contract, we tell them, hey, look, these are the things that could potentially happen. All right. So if any of these scenarios occur, it's not a surprise. and at that point, it's a different conversation once those scenarios do take place. So, right?
Yeah, 100%.
What other thing were you gonna say?
I have that client with that had people's trust, the one that they invoked the right to repair.
Oh,
and
yes.
that one's been a long one.
Wait, hold on. Let's touch base on that because I want the viewers to hear what's going on. What's going out? What's going on with that claim now that they've invoked the right to repair and they have started repairs? Can you just give us
a little overview
from the beginning, starting with the delays in repairs?
So this claim was referred to me. I know the insured's son, right? He reached out. He saw I was a public adjuster, and he's like, "Hey, my parents actually tried making a claim for the roof during one of the storms, and the insurance said it was under deductible. So we got involved. We took a look at it, and we saw that they had a legit claim. So we took upon helping them out. We got the whole process started. Inspection, everything went well, and then it ended up going to appraisal. In appraisal, the client was awarded $61,000 as far as for their claim. And when it came time for them to make the payout, the insurance said that they were going to do the repairs instead of paying out. So they were going to do the repairs that would amount to $61,000.
Let me just add something for the viewers here. The insurance company in this case had already invoked the right to repair at the beginning of the claim. Had they done that in appraisal and not at the beginning, we would have challenged it. We wouldn't just have let it slip, come and do the repairs. No. So the reason why we were, put against the wall is because they had done so within the 30 days of the claim being filed. And at that point, whatever was awarded in that claim had to go into the repair, into the repair option, which is the repair option is when the carrier opts to repair the damages themselves. All right, go ahead.
So we spoke to the insureds, and they understood that that's the only option that they have. So they have allowed for them to start the work. Off the bat, there's been issues with the timing. They said they were supposed to start one day, they didn't because apparently they had failed inspections at other properties.
And that was communicated to
the insured. Then first they were waiting for the first inspection to pass. They failed it. So off the bat, the insureds are like frustrated.
Yeah.
It's been twice now that they've failed inspection. Nobody communicates as far as like the proper timing of when people are supposed to be there. So it's been quite the mess.
And I believe now in the second, when they got the second inspection, when they failed the second inspection, they had to go back and remove tiles, right?
Correct.
Roof tiles?
They removed tiles to like pretty much patchwork the area that had failed.
Wow.
So, off the bat, it's been, I understand it from the insurance perspective, how frustrating it can be.
And we've been there on the way to document all the damage and be present for many of the inspections. Also, we've instructed, because these people sometimes show up, whenever they feel like it, we've instructed the insurer to, also document with photographs the damages and conversations and text messages and things of that sort. Because, yes, even though they're allowed to do the repair, it doesn't mean that if they do a shit repair, that the insured has to settle for that. If they do a bad repair, we're gonna go after them and make them make it right. So, it might be that they do an amazing repair and we can't collect a penny on this claim. Fine, at least we help that person get their damages repaired. That's not a loss for us. But 9 out of 10 times, it's likely that they'll mess up and then we'll have to step in again and get the money so that the repairs can be done correctly. So that was a good example.
Yeah, it's been ongoing. So, so we hope to be there till the end. Well, we're going to be there till the end.
We're going to be there till the end.
And make it right.
Yeah, we definitely will. Sophie, okay, so I have a question for you. And you're the perfect candidate because you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
A powerful woman, by the way. What is your experience as a woman in this industry?
Honestly, I don't really know. I've had some inspections with veteran, like older male adjusters. And sometimes I feel like they look at me like, oh, this little girl. And I've had inspections with other male adjusters, and like they kind of like applaud me for like, being like a woman in this industry, which is dominated by older men. I don't know. I think it's been a cool experience.
Yeah. I think that the fact that some of these men underestimate you is something that you can use to their advantage, because you're probably a lot more informed than they think. So when it comes time to negotiate that claim or, show them why they should pay, unexpectedly, you're going to do an amazing job, which in turn is going to like shock them. And they, at that point, will be more likely to, engage and negotiate and settle that claim with you. They'll gain respect for you because, in a sense, they underestimated you from the beginning. So I love the fact, and I love the fact that that Monarch has 2 women adjusters. And, I vouch for you guys all the time. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like, yes, you guys have a reason to stand out, and we're equal, right?
Yeah.
And just because you're a woman, you're not inferior in any way. But I do say, like, take that as a what's it called?
Use it to my advantage.
Yeah, use it to your advantage. Let them underestimate you. Who cares what they think?
There was this one time that I was still like an admin assistant. And I was calling to try to get an offer from a desk adjuster. And the guy was like, that's not how this works. Like, you have to submit your estimate and then I'll review it. And I told him, I did submit the estimate. I'm giving you a call to see if you've reviewed it so I can get an offer from you. Like, he treated me like I didn't even know what I was talking about. And I was like, sir, like, come on.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Look, and I don't think you need it. Neither you or Yuli need the backup. But if you ever do, like, we're here, and not because we're men, just because we're a family. So
yeah, we're a team.
If we need to slap anybody up, you let me know, because I'll get real rude up in this. Yeah. So, how about you? What is your, as a female? What
as a female? 2021 coming off at a bang.
Yeah. Now thinking back, I don't recall seeing. I do recall meeting with as an adjuster. Let me see.
When you were an insurance adjuster?
When I was an insurance adjuster, I don't recall meeting a lot of PA females. I don't know why, man. I feel like I wish there were more. So.
Well, at the last PA firm that I worked at, there was.
Come close. Yeah.
At the last PA firm that I worked at, there was 3 out of, I think, 30 PAs that were women. And then at the first PA firm that I worked at, the manager, who I basically learned everything from, she was also a PA.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a few out there.
Should we poach her?
No.
No? No. You don't think we can?
I don't think so. So,
Ivan, you are a CrossFit Games champion. 2000 what?
2025.
2025.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in the future. It's up and coming.
Okay, but you're by then you're gonna be in the Masters division if you keep.
No, I won't be.
You're
no,
31.
I won't even be 34 yet. Master starts at 34. No, actually 35 years old.
Okay.
So I've still got quite some time.
Oh, so I can still be a CrossFit.
Correct.
What's it called? A champion
athlete?
or
champion.
Athlete.
Let's start with athlete.
Yeah. Okay, I have a year to prepare.
No, you got 6 months.
Oh, shit. True. How's it? Tell me a little bit about your gym, and just tell me a little bit about it. When did you start? How did this come about?
Well, I've been a CrossFit coach for 4 years. 4 years now. And then I've owned the gym for the last 2 years. We do CrossFit. We teach CrossFit classes, hour-long classes. We warm up a class. We go over the movements. We do body weight stuff, Olympic lifting movements. We teach them to the class, and then we always have a workout that's modifiable to anybody. So we have a diversity of people from all ages. We even had kids classes at one point before Corona.
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
yeah,
And it was surprisingly packed.
yeah, it would be packed, and it's awesome, to definitely be healthy. As you guys know, with Corona, one of the biggest advantages is if you're healthy, you're gonna get through it a lot better than somebody that isn't. So, but other than that, hour-long class, you'd have a workout, and then you have a cool down, couple classes throughout the day. That's what we would do.
I know you guys recently moved and you're doing a little bit of renovation in the new warehouse. You're going to start implementing new things that are going to set you apart.
Correct.
Are you able to talk about those?
Yeah.
What ideas do you have in mind? Because I feel like the CrossFit community is a bit saturated in the sense that like everybody wants to do CrossFit and everybody wants to own a CrossFit gym. So it's very competitive. How is your gym going to be different than the other 20 gyms in your zip code?
Yeah. Well, off the start, we don't care to have packed classes, meaning like we're not trying to have 25 people per class. We care to cater to 10 to 12 people, because we're going to give you the best attention that we can. And not that like it, it is fun to work out in big groups. Every so often we encourage that, but there's a lot of technique that goes into some of these movements that if I have 20 people that I'm coaching, it's going to be really hard for me to fix certain things. And I've come to notice that more as I've been training with just, you and a couple of the other guys, just seeing you guys, like, it just makes it easier for me to correct certain things that you guys have probably been doing wrong.
Well, you guys is a lot of people because, I'll
I
be throwing it down, boy, in like perfect form,
I meant that as a group thing,
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things. Also, we're going to offer 24-hour access to our members. No other CrossFit gym has that.
Is that going to be a separate membership?
It's going to be a separate membership. It's going to be not much difference. It's definitely worth it for those people that work late night or early mornings. They're going to have access to the gym whenever. And I know that no other gym offers that now, especially with 24-hour fitness being closed down. Maybe only UFit. Does UFit have 24-hour access?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So we'd probably be the only gym in Kendo to offer that. Okay. Especially for our law enforcement, our nurses that, their schedule's different.
Gotcha.
They'll be able to work out whenever.
Oh yeah. You do have several police officers that work out of there. Squatted
up.
Yeah.
Just protected. But yeah, that, and then just even offering personal training for those that want that one-on-one. I'm going to be doing it, and I'm going to be offering personal trainers to come use my facility for them to take advantage with their clients.
And is that something that other...
Not that I know of, not that I've seen. I know there is gyms that offer personal training, but they go, like, you could get a personal trainer at LA Fitness, but you're limited to the equipment. Our equipment is a little different, for like Olympic style movements. You have a rig to do a bunch of body weight stuff, and I'm planning on implying other like machines like the leg press and all that fun isolation stuff.
No, now you have this person that's going to donate a punching bag and the swivel arm. So that's great, man. Yeah. That's great. Do you find it hard to manage your business and the public adjusting business?
No, that's a beautiful thing about part of being a public adjuster is that like you said, there's no limits, right? So if you want to work your ass off, 100% of the week, you could do that. But if you're like somebody like me that runs their business, I could create my schedule, my public adjusting schedule to work around my business.
Correct.
And I get to take advantage that like those clients, I get to interact with them every day, and they know what I'm doing here as well. So if something happens at, with their homes or their businesses, I can be somebody they think of.
Yeah. And they are, I know a lot of the clients, there are your clients already.
Yeah.
So, and they already trust you. So it would only make sense that they would hire you to be their public adjuster. Yeah. I mean, besides the fact that you are part of the best team, and probably the entire United States.
I agree.
But yeah, so that's great. Sophie, you don't do anything else, right? All you do is PA stuff.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, I mean, the admin and the PA and the ad. Okay. Yeah, but the goal here is to transition you out of that into,
of course,
full-time PA. Excellent. Excellent. So, Sophie, in Monarch, you act both as an admin and as a PA. How is that? How is it? How do you manage both tasks?
It's fairly easy because I mean, once I complete my admin tasks, then I can just focus on my PA tasks. And it also gives me like a pretty interesting perspective because I have the perspective of an admin and also the perspective as a PA.
Correct.
So I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not something that, takes away my time from either one.
Gotcha. We got to get you more claims so that you could start feeling overwhelmed. And,
After Ada, I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah. How was that? Like, how was that experience being up there for you?
Tropical Storm Ada, just in case.
I mean, I was a little overwhelmed after Ada just because, all the other PAs were bringing in their claims. I was bringing in my own claims too. And then I had to, report everyone's claim, schedule the scopes, and then also, take care of the claims that I already had, bring in the other claims that, I'm signing up. So I did experience a little bit of overwhelmness.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I know. And the only reason why I say that's good is because I feel like the only time that you're growing is when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you're going by and things seem easy, you're plateauing.
Yeah.
At least in my eyes. So that's why when I said, I heard the word easy and I'm like, no, we got to get you more claims. And take that advice too, guys. If the viewers and you guys, if you feel like things are plateauing and you have certain goals, you have to accelerate a little harder. I always find myself thinking when I reach like certain goals or, certain, not deadlines, but goals, I catch myself quick when I feel like things are like slowing down. And I'm very quick to remind myself of the ultimate goal, which is why I'm telling you, you got to know where you're what's the saying? You got to know where you're headed to know where you're going or something like that. So just keep the foot on the accelerator at all times.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've come to notice that lately. Like the last couple of weeks, the gym was closed down, obviously, because of like we have renovations and all that. And then my claims slowed down towards the end of the year. And I was just really in my head and like I'm just not myself. And over the weekend, I realized I was just like, I work the best when I have a lot of things going on. Yeah. When like I'm busy, in other words, right? When I'm like, just my mind is at 1,000 miles per hour. But that's when I internally feel the best. And I don't have time to get caught up on like random thoughts that are just not even worth putting into it. Yeah. So definitely like the whole putting your foot down is like this whole week started off, off hot.
Yeah. So, and Ivan, no, Sophie first. What do you do for fun?
I go to the beach. I bike ride. I rollerblade.
You bike ride?
Yeah. I like to paint.
Like trails?
No, I haven't. I would love to do a trail, but just like around my neighborhood. I love to paint.
Really?
If I ever have free time, that's the type of stuff that I do.
You should hit the trails with us on like a random weekend.
And where can we see some of his artwork?
I actually just gifted Hobby like a little painting that I did.
Wait, why does Hobby?
Yeah.
And like nobody else.
Because I made it of both of our favorite movie. We both have like the same favorite movie. Oh, so I drew a painting.
Don't tell me it's the movie that I think it is.
What
the movie? One that I'm big buggy you about. The Midsommar.
Oh, no. Okay. No.
What is your favorite movie?
Interstellar.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, I think I have seen it.
Yeah. That movie's so good.
I might look it up.
I think I have a picture, or maybe Javi, I don't know, he can show you guys.
You guys can put it up later.
Maybe I'll like paint like a little Monarch.
Sure.
Painting.
Yeah. That sounds good. Ivan, what do you like to do for fun?
So where do I begin? Off the bat, working out for me is super fun. Doing all my CrossFit training, that's definitely takes up most of my time and most of my fun. Lately, mountain biking, it's been like the last hobby that we picked up during quarantine.
Were you gonna say during drinking?
Hold on, I haven't gotten there. Then third, I would say like, drinking and just hanging out with, my fiance, my friends, like anything that involves going out, I'm having a blast, to be honest. Having a blast going out for me is like, they go hand in hand.
Yeah, and experience and hanging out with you often, you're that person that never says no. Something comes up, yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
Nothing sounds like a bad idea to me.
Yeah, for real. It could be anything from like going to a restaurant to going on the boat to just smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to be open-minded like that. I really want to ask that question. I just don't know how to phrase it. But it has to do with, like, do you see Monarch being a place that promotes your growth? Any place that truly is behind you, and that will help you grow in a sense. And I know it's a tough question because I'm the one asking it, but I would honestly like your honest opinion. And if it's something that is not so great, I'd like to know it as well so that I can make the necessary adjustments to make the right environment for you guys.
That is what honestly attracted me so much to Monarch. Like, I had been following you guys on LinkedIn, well, us on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I had seen the podcast, and when, I knew you guys were, an up-and-coming PA group, but it's when I came into the interview and I really got the sense of like support from you. That's what really attracted me to work here. Like, after I left the interview, I was like, oh my God, like I really want to work here.
Yeah. Oh, glad to hear. I need to be asking these questions more often because that gives me reassurance in what we're doing. Sometimes I do things and I don't know if they're having the right effect, but maybe it's just because I don't ask. So thank you for that, Sophie. Mm-hmm. What's up?
Well, I mean, you said it, environment. So like, I'm the type of person that like, if I don't like to be around a certain group, that's it. Like I'm out. Like you could tell when I'm into it or when I'm out of it.
Yeah.
And off the bat, like, I've created friendships here. And the reason why is because we're all so like-minded. Like this whole team is like, everybody's so positive. Everybody wants to hustle. Like everybody wants to better themselves.
Yeah.
Like I haven't heard anybody in the office, and I know it's crazy to sound. I mean, it's crazy to hear. But I've never heard anybody be negative towards anybody else or like on what they're doing. Like, everybody's so positive and like helpful. Like, and like nobody really benefits from helping each other, but it's because that you generally want to do it. So that's something I stand for. So yeah, I definitely see like myself growing here and being the best version of myself.
So you think you have the support, right? The support that you need to
I know that you guys
goal.
have my back.
Yeah.
And so like, and if you guys, I feel like if anybody would notice that you're falling off, somebody's gonna come ahead and be like, hey, like, let's get back on track. And like, you don't get that in a lot of places.
Yeah.
A lot of times at other places, people just want to see somebody fail because they feel like that's how they're gonna be able to be better.
Sometimes you're nothing but a number.
Exactly.
And like here, you can tell that like you're cared about here.
Yeah. And sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I really noticed it with like Ricky and Albie when I first started. Like, I was new, and in other places you start and like the older people, like the people that have been there around the longest, don't really want to help the new people because they feel like they're a threat. And these guys were like the total opposite. Like it was like super like, hey, like make sure, let's get your claims, or like, how's this claim going? Like, are you doing what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh shit, like, these guys don't know me, barely know me, and they're trying to really help me be the best version. It's like, no, everybody here wants everybody to improve. And that's the only way the company's also going to grow even bigger, if we're all growing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I'm going to share this with you guys. One of my biggest fears is losing touch with everybody. And I feel like I am, just because I'm like so focused on handling other things that don't relate to claims. But at the same time, I don't want to let that go, because I think that up until this point, that's what has, in a sense, made us great. The fact that I could just be everywhere. The fact that I can just be in every single portion of it. And sometimes I wonder how much Monarch can scale, because of that same reason. I don't think, I don't know. I like the boutique feel and the white glove service, and I don't know if that can be achieved if no when we are national in like, I don't know, 40 states. Just into my thoughts right now, thinking about it.
But may I ask you why not all 50 states?
There's some states where public adjusting is not favorable,
Gotcha.
or it's not even like something
Legal.
that's legal.
Yeah.
I think it's
really?
Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't even exist.
Oh,
So
snap.
people there don't have access to somebody that's an advocate for them, and that really sucks. So that's why I haven't looked into it, all the laws of every state, but I'm assuming that there's others like Alabama. So I don't know. I got into my thoughts there a little bit, but we'll see. I guess we'll see one day at a time. One day at a time. Are you guys interested in going to other states to adjust claims?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
I would love to be able to like travel, like in
Gotcha.
between states.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I
Did
told.
you-
Oh, sorry, I didn't interrupt. No, finish.
Did you get your Louisiana license?
I have not.
Why not?
I don't know.
Because I mean, you would probably be one of the ones going.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something I'll look into for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to travel, this is something that would facilitate that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I wanted to like get like more on my feet with my claims here in Florida,
Gotcha. Understood.
and then eventually
It makes sense. Not chewing more than you
Yeah.
can. Wait, not
biting
more
off.
not biting more than you can chew.
Mhm.
What were
Said
you
no
gonna
one
say?
ever.
Huh?
I'm like, said no one ever.
Said no one.
We
Yeah.
can figure it out.
I'm of the same mindset,
Yeah.
but it's sometimes you're doing too much, man, and you got to take a step back and
Yeah.
be like, holy shit. Or sometimes you're handling too many different things, and there you could potentially bite more than you could chew.
Yeah,
Bite more than you
you
chew.
said it right. Yeah, I mean, I told you, right? I planned on moving to Texas
Nah,
for
yeah,
a little
no,
bit.
I squashed that for you.
But I do want property over there, so like I definitely want my license in Texas as well.
Yeah.
Get some work in.
The beauty about this is you could do it in several states. So like, if maybe you don't want to move there, but you want to have a house there, and you want to spend 3 months out of the year in that house, you could work from Texas.
Yeah.
Not only adjust your Florida claims from there, but also adjust claims from Texas.
Yeah.
So it's always a good thing, especially like Texas and all these other states that are on the perimeter of the United States. There's always going to be some sort of storm or something going on that's going to require our help. So it's good to be licensed in all those.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said. This career has no limitations.
Yeah.
So it's the beauty of it. I don't want to say, I'm gonna use the word perfect, but it is.
Yeah.
It's like for anybody that like it comes down to you as an individual on how much you want to work and like again what your goals are.
Yeah.
If you want to get, if you want to make really good money for yourself, you got to put the time in. And if you're okay with just the necessities and getting by and whatever, depending on your lifestyle, everybody's different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think, and because it's such a great career, I think sometimes people mistaken it for being easy, and they say, "Oh shit, he's a PA. He's making all this money. I'm gonna start doing it." And you can, but you have to commit. It's not something that you say, "I'm gonna start doing it," and it's just gonna like work itself out. No, you have to continue to put in the time and the work. It's convenient. It pays very well, but you have to work like anything else.
yeah, you can't get discouraged.
Yeah, you definitely can get discouraged. And I think it's easy to get discouraged because sometimes when you start, Sophie, and you could probably attest to this, but there was at the beginning, there was a while that you didn't get any claims. We were assigning you claims, right? And sometimes when you become a PA, like you had it easy in the sense that you started generating right away.
Yeah.
But some people, they'll go months without, they become a PA and they don't get a claim for months. And that is very, very, discouraging.
Yeah.
So, but just never give up, and it's going to happen.
Or like we had a conversation recently, like where like I did start off hot, like where I was getting claims, and then I kind of fell off a little bit, and it was just because like I mentioned earlier, like claims are going to litigation, so I don't see any residual from it for a while. But it's kind of like no, like you gotta, it's gonna pay off. It's gonna be there. So that's been my whole thing now that I got back to things. It's like, hey, like same way I started, right? Like there was a goal, like I'm putting my effort into it. Like you can't fall off just because it doesn't look like it's paying at the moment.
Correct. And it's not like you don't have anything to look forward to, because not only do you have your own claims, but you also have the group that's around you they're all doing great. They have hundreds of claims, and they started with nothing and they got there somehow, right? So if they did it, you guys, you girls, or the group can do it too.
Do you have any tips for us new PAs on how to, I guess, get new clients?
Look, I'm a really bad salesperson. So I would not, surprisingly, I would be a really bad person to ask. The way that I would say I would get clients is by being genuine. When I used to sign claims, I would walk in the door, and from the beginning, I truly have the client's interest in mind. That's the only suggestion that I could really give, because I don't know how to sell. I don't know how to if the claims that I've gotten has been because the person knows that I really want to help them, and that's about it. So there's my tip, make the person feel, or first of all, genuinely want to help them, and make sure that they feel that as you sign the claim. So, and which that goes back to what we were discussing this morning about explaining the contract. Sometimes clients, they tend to trust you right off the bat, but even then, make sure that they understand what they're signing, and basically what the process is going to be like. And that's going to, bring you and that client a lot closer, and that client's going to trust you more.
Yeah, and that client's probably going to refer you.
Oh yeah.
So, because at the end of the day, like word of mouth is going to be the best thing. Then I feel like then just walking up to a stranger and kind of like, hey, look, this is what I do. This is what I could do for you.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, rather than like if their friend tells them, hey, this person, was able to help me out, and I was able to fix my roof or whatever it was. They're going to be more inclined to call you up, and because I've had some of those clients.
Yeah, up until recently, client referrals was our only source of business. Like we would get maybe one from Instagram, or we knocked on some doors or something, but the bulk of our clients was from word of mouth, and that speaks volumes about the service that we provide. So I think sometimes people don't put two and two together, but really that's a really big deal. The fact that your clients can say, hey, this person's going to take care of you, and they can refer you to their whole family, and they know that confidently you're going to take care of their whole family. So that's my tip. Any other questions?
Any other tips for us?
As far as signing clients,
just
or in general?
As new PAs, new to the game.
New to the game. Any tips is, and from this morning's meeting, don't forget that you have a full support system here. I know that we're not the best company at teaching how to be a PA. We don't have hundreds of workshops. We don't have specific training tools in place, but the support that we have for new PAs like yourselves, I think cannot be matched by any other company.
I agree.
So while we're not like textbook PAs, we are like hands-on, PAs. You have the support, and thank you for agreeing, giving me the reassurance. So yeah, don't forget that you have that support. Sometimes we hit a wall and we get stuck, but it's easily resolved with a phone call to me, to Ricky, Albert, Yuli, any of those. The other tip that I want to give you guys is work fucking hard. Unless you win the lotto, nothing great is going to come without just hard work and consistency. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's undervalued. So just work, and trust me that your input will be rewarded. So like I'm guaranteeing that because I'm invested in you guys. So I'm guaranteeing it. That's it. Anything else?
No, thank you. You know, I've always said I'm appreciative of the opportunity. It came at the right time. You know, I was trying to be a cop during that time. So
Hey, it's good.
It's a great life, but like, you know, you're limited to your time, you know, your energy, your even your mindset. Like it's totally different how they view people.
Yeah.
You know, because of how tough their job is.
And they have great benefits. And I think in a way they call that jobs like that are referred to as like golden handcuffs, I believe, because you're limited to making a certain amount of money. Like you're topped out.
Yeah.
And yes, you have all these great benefits and, you know, days off and whatever it may be, but ultimately there's a ceiling.
There's
and you're gonna hit a limit there, and you're gonna hit it.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe here in PA, as being a PA, you're taking a bigger risk because you know you're gonna spend some time without seeing any income. But you also know that you can rely on, if you work hard, you will, you know, exceed anything else that's out there.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
especially we're not having to go to college or, you know, did you go to college, or are you
Yeah,
going?
I'm still in college.
You're still in college. You did too, right? Or a little bit.
I tried getting my associates.
Okay.
And then I was just like, no. I've always been working, so I was just like, this isn't for me. And
that's fine,
not that it wasn't for me. It wasn't what I was interested in doing. And again, I've always gone against, like my mom would say, contra la marea. So, you know, I just was like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, I want better for my life. Not that not going to school is not better for life, but I meant it like in me. I saw myself doing other things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I know that I'm going to work my ass off at whatever it is I do, to make sure I get what I want. So far I'm on track.
Yeah. And that's good. Yeah. School's not for everybody. And actually, I mean, and because I've probably mentioned this before, but because I also have very limited school, I did get my A barely. But I haven't used anything I learned that I can recall. And I had the same thing. My parents would, you know, try to push me. Oh, well, you have to get a career and a diploma, and at least you have something to fall back on. I bet you they're looking at me now. They're like, good job, son. Good job, son. So yeah, it's not a matter of what education you get. It's just the work that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say something that's very important. The vehicle that you're in. So the vehicle as in like the work that you're doing. Because you can be working really hard at a job that has no future and you're going to burn yourself out. But if you find the right vehicle, whether it be PA or, you know, whatever it is, and you work hard, it will pay off. So what are you going to school for, Sophie?
Architecture.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Don't put that. And that's something that you want to pursue, right?
Yeah, it's something that like actually really interests me.
Yeah, but see, look, that's different because you're passionate about that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're being forced to go to school when you really don't think that that's your thing, then I think some people waste their time when they do it for other reasons than being passionate about it. So, and that would, I think what we do would be a great complement to what you're studying.
Yeah. I'm hoping to use, you know, what I learn on both sides to, you know, help the other one out. Yeah. So like, you know, my knowledge as an architect could definitely benefit me as a PA. Like, how's a field adjuster going to argue with me?
Exactly.
Like when I know exactly how the house is built.
Exactly.
You're really going to slap them around.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, snap.
You know, I've never seen an expert witness that is an architect, but it would be interesting because, I mean, like you said, an architect basically builds a house. So like, and a plan, designs it. So that's very interesting. I'm sure that, how many years do you have left?
A lot.
A lot?
A lot.
Well, hopefully by the time that you're done, you're still with us, and then you could serve as an
absolutely.
expert witness.
And
Yeah.
that you're not retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you're not retired.
Well, if it takes more than 5 years, well, 6 because I'm 34, I may be, but I'll still come in. Yeah. So as I was saying before, 1800 interrupted me by the sight of it. I appreciate you guys taking the time to do this podcast with me. I think that there's a lot of interest into this business, but there's a lot of misconceptions as well. So it's nice to hear the perspective of somebody that's been doing it for not so long, so that people get a better idea and they can decide whether this is something they want to pursue. So thank you guys. Keep kicking ass. I'm really, really proud of you both. And nothing. I want to see you guys do great things. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Ivan, go ahead, give it away, do your thing.
Yeah, as you guys know, I'm also a CrossFit coach. We just rebranded, so the gym's name is Revival Training Lab. So you could go ahead and DM me at my personal account or my Monarch account if you'd like some more information, and we could get you guys started to a healthier lifestyle. So.
Yeah, and then you guys also get to work out not only with that sexy beast, but with this sexy beast right here. It's a work in progress, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So did you? What is the hashtag? The account?
Instagram? Yeah, Revival Training Lab. The change was made already at Revival Training Lab.
Okay, is it a lab because they genetically engineer you to be fit, or?
Wow, it's not the first time somebody tells me that, but no. No, just I rebranded the name, and it sounds a little bit more rugged, like just a training lab. Like,
gotcha.
We are different. Like the gym is different. Again, it's all about environment, and it's a positive. Everybody there is just trying to make the best version of themselves.
Yeah,
and it's all I care for. Not for you to be like me or like the other person, but for you to get the best out of yourself. And that's something that I've learned to come grow being in your company. Like, hey, just be the very best that you can be, and you're gonna do a lot.
Yeah.
So
agreed. All right, guys, thank you very much again, and thanks to the viewers for watching. I really appreciate all of you just taking the time and seeing and getting into our thoughts a little bit, or seeing what our thoughts are. As usual, please, I would really appreciate it if you guys would subscribe, like, and comment. I want to know what you think of our performance here. I happen to think that I'm getting a little better, but I want to know what you have to say. So until next time, I am checking out now.